So I've now been a professional voice actor for about 11 years, which is still crazy to think about. And I've never talked about the voice actors that got me inspired, because I didn't just wake up one day going, oh boy, I want to be a voice actor. No, it was learning about these voice actors and seeing like their performances that made me want to do this too. So I just wanted to go down a list of my top 5 favorite voice actors that got me inspired to be able to do this as a career. First one was Sterling Holloway. Sterling Holloway's voice is so synonymous with old school Disney for me because he did so many characters. He was the original Winnie the Pooh. He was Kaa in The Jungle Book, the Cheshire Cat, Mr. Stork in Dumbo, Adult Flower, Roquefort the Mouse in the Aristocats, and I don't know how many shorts this man did the narration for, and heck, there's probably more I'm not thinking of. This dude is all over classic Disney. I remember when I first started realizing that, wait, Winnie the Pooh's voice and Kaa's voice sound really similar. And then the more I looked into it, the more I was like, yeah, these voices are completely identical.
Oh yes, time for my stoutness exercise. Cross my heart, hope to die.
So that was when I first started discovering, it's like, wait, you can use the same voice to get a completely different feeling character? That really blew my mind as a kid and was one of the reasons I started looking into voice actors and everything. Next up, we have Dave Coulier. Although he's not known for being a voice actor, he has done plenty of it, but he's most known for playing Uncle Joey in Full House. But I remember when I was young, I would watch Full House all the time and see him like pull out his Bullwinkle voice and a bunch of other impressions that he did throughout the show.
Hello, Cinderella. It's me, Kermit the Frog.
Good night, Uncle Jesse.
And that always registered with me. I was like, it's amazing what he can do, and that's so cool. And I think I've mentioned this in a couple of videos, but watching an episode of Full House is when I actually learned to do my first voice. I had played around with messing with my voice to try to make animal sounds in the past, but I'd never tried a character. And then I remember specifically, it was the episode of Full House, and Joey runs into the room going, oh my gosh, guys, you won't believe this. And everyone's like, what happened? Comet sat up and said, where's my water? Just like Scooby-Doo. And I was so taken by that thinking, I think I can do that. And I repeated, where's my water? And that was how I learned my first voice of Scooby-Doo, was just watching Dave Coulier on Full House. And he forever is a big part of why I got started in voices, just seeing the fun spontaneity that he could have with his voices.
Cut it out. Get out of here.
Next up, of course, is Robin Williams. I mean, can you be a voice actor growing up in the 90s and not be at all inspired by Robin Williams?
Yeah!
We've come to this planet looking for intelligent life. Oops, we made a mistake.
Even in his non-voice acting roles, the dude was a legend. Obviously, hearing his vocal calisthenics in characters like the Genie, or even like Fern Gully, but then even do his work like on Mrs. Doubtfire, where you like see him do the voices to the characters at the beginning of the movie. That kind of gave me a glimpse into how voice acting works, even though it wasn't totally accurate. I mean, if you're the original voice for a cartoon, you're almost never matching the animation that's already done. You do the voiceover first, and then they match the animation to your performance. I've only had it work like it did in Mrs. Doubtfire only once, but still, it was still a glimpse into the voiceover booth. Which, hey, that's still super exciting. The next most impactful was, let's be real here, Mel Blanc. Mel Blanc, he was phenomenal. He was basically almost every Looney Tune.
So I put the two of them together, Doc. That's how I got the voice for Bugs.
When I first learned that, just to see the amount of range that this one man had was just spectacular.
The roughest, toughest He-Man, toughest hombre has ever crossed the Rio Grande.
I'm a tweet little bird in a deodorant cage.
And as I got older and I still watch some of these old cartoons, I'm like looking and listening for like, oh, that's definitely him. Or even sometimes he'd take over a character temporarily that he wouldn't normally play. Like, he's not Elmer Fudd, but he did do a couple lines for him on occasion. And it's always fun to pinpoint. It's like, oh, there's Mel Blanc.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, smog!
Or even finding him outside of Looney Tunes projects, because he definitely had some. But yeah, that kind of set my imagination soaring. Most of the Looney Tunes are played by one man. What?
in, you stinker.
And last but certainly not least, this voice actor has impacted me more than any other one ever has. He was actually the first voice actor that I ever learned about, to learn that this was a career. And it was me first putting these pieces together, like, wait, that sounds like this. Is that the same guy? That this opened the world to voice acting that I've never seen before, and that was Jim Cummings. I remember vividly being a kid and watching Balto for the first time, and hearing the voice of Steel.
Touch that box, and I'll tear you apart.
And there was something so familiar about it, that I had heard something like this in the past. And as I dove in and did a little bit more research, I remember vividly finding out for the first time that the guy who played Winnie the Pooh in some of my favorite Winnie the Poohs going on with the same voice as Steel from Balto. It was specifically those two characters.
I'm sorry, Balto the half-breed.
I must have been thinking in my sleep, because I thought I heard singing.
And I was like, wait, Winnie the Pooh and Steel are the same guy? And then after I learned this and I started to recognize Jim Cummings' voice, I started hearing him everywhere. And just over and over again, I'm like, oh, there's Jim Cummings, there's Jim Cummings, there's Jim Cummings. From Tigger to Bonkers to Pete to the singing voice of Scar to Ed the Hyena. This guy was everywhere. And it was because I learned about him, I started learning about the other voice actors like Frank Welker and Tom Kenny and Tara Strong. He was kind of the gateway voice actor to all of this stuff. Most of the other voice actors that I knew of before were also on-camera actors. Your Robin Williams, your Dave Coulier. He was the first one that I learned about that was not a traditional on-camera actor first. And because of that, his voice work is extra special to me. And anytime I hear it, I just get so excited and I get this dumb expression on my face because I just can't get enough of his voice work. It is incredible. And the dude is an absolute legend who I 100% look up to. And I hope one day to be half as good a voice actor as this guy is. I don't know if I'll ever get there, but if I could, I would be the happiest man on the face of the planet. And with that, let me know in the comments, who are y'all's favorite voice actors and who inspired you?